So we just have a lot to do, and there's storms coming at some point today, so we're gonna go get to work.
Are you measuring the
You guys, we have a tall order for today. We have some pigs coming today. We've got to finish their enclosure. Actually, we're finishing 2 enclosures because we're not quite sure where we're going to put them yet. We need to fence in my garden and build a perimeter for the meat birds. They will have a tractor, but we got to keep the goats off the chicken tractor, so we actually have to put up an electric fence to keep the goats away from the chickens. So we just have a lot to do. And there's storms coming at some point today, so we're gonna go get to work.
Okay, we're gonna go back down and we're gonna sink those posts for the fence. We're gonna put up that double line of fence to protect where the chickens are gonna go, and then we're gonna come up here and sink the posts around the garden area, so we can put up that fence and pull those hog panels to put here.
What you making?
There, this is the pen where the hogs are going to go kind of temporarily, or like when the other hogs show up, if we want to put them somewhere for a little while to have just a holding area where the little hogs are until we get them adjusted to the older hogs. Hey, buddy.
So we're not going to leave them in here permanently because they don't have, we have all this fresh pasture for them.
You are fine.
And we'll rotate them down through the pasture and give them plenty of time on fresh grass and get them out down through some brushy areas and have them do some clearing for us and get them on some good greens. But we wanted to have, while we were figuring out how to rotate, and we've got meat chickens that are coming too, so we're actually going to have an area that's fenced off. That's what I was just talking about with my daughter, that we're going to block off. We're going to have a double strand of fence because the chicken tractors look like great climbing areas for goats, so they're very excited. So we got to put up a double strand of fence to keep the goats out of the area where we're rotating the chickens.
I love it when you do manly work. What did you do?
I gave Uncle Matt a tail.
You gave him a tail. What does that mean?
I attached one of those rubber stretchy things with the hooks on both ends to one of the belt straps in his pants.
And he doesn't notice?
No, he doesn't know.
So that's his tail right there.
Yeah.
So Uncle Matt and Daddy are planning on how to fence in the garden
With tails.
with tails.
Daddy can feel me put tails on him now. He's too smart.
Can I tell Dad?
No.
Don't tell Dad. Don't tell
I think you
Dad.
should tell him to shake it.
Hey Matt, shake it.
Go like this.
Shake your tail feathers!
That's inappropriate.
Okay, so tell me what's going right here behind us.
Okay, so right back here, you can see the fence, the regular fence off to the side here.
That's just the edge of the
wood,
pasture.
Yep, the wood post right there. That's the edge of the pasture. So this side over here, the goats are going to retain access to. They're going to still be able to pasture and graze over
There's
in here.
one right there.
And frankly, the pigs are going to be out here too, on different areas out here. But this area here, where you can see this line right down here, and you can see that she's measuring the space between our posts. We're putting up a fence right along this line here. Nope, just a 2-strand fence, because like I said earlier, like the goats are happy with where they are. They just need a slight deterrent to keep them from going to where they're not supposed to be. So this 2-strand fence will keep them out of the area, because over here, this area is where we're going to have our meat chickens.
Yeah, so
you can
there's
see
the
one of our
tractor waiting
tractors.
for them right there.
Yep, right up there. You can see one of our chicken tractors waiting for them. it's easy to kind of lose track of space if you don't have a name for it, if you don't have a purpose for it. So that stall that I was showing you, or I'm going to show you, that was full of stuff that we were working on cleaning out today, that we didn't have a purpose for it, and so it accumulated junk. And so this hasn't really accumulated junk. I mean, we've had some other stuff that we've kind of stored over here, some outdoor things that we've stored over here, but this gives it a name, it gives it a purpose, and this space is spoken for. And it's the same thing in life. If you've got space in life that isn't spoken for, you'll fill it with something. You'll fill it with clutter, you'll fill it with junk, you'll fill it with stuff that isn't what you need. It frankly doesn't need to be in your life. And so if you have space like that in your life, you have space like that in your schedule, if you don't have a name for your time, you will pick up your phone and look at stupid stuff, and look at stuff that doesn't feed you, that doesn't serve your life, that doesn't teach you how to speak the English language or teach you how to edit videos so that your husband doesn't look like a fool. So the stuff that doesn't serve your purpose, and when you see that space, in your schedule, when you see that space in your house that doesn't have a name, that doesn't have a purpose, you will see it be misused. You will see it be used poorly, and you will see things that don't belong in your life start to accumulate in that space. So this space belongs to the chickens. It has a name, it has a purpose.
See, we had the chickens working on this, but they had too much space, so they didn't do a thorough job. So we had to invite company over to do the manual labor.
Did what I want. You all good? No, I'm not all good.
And then
Is it okay if I just zip tie every rung so it's in the right place?
I'm gonna say let's not, because that looks pretty fabulous as it is. I think that will keep the chickens out of the garden.
Put your weapon. I mean, you know how. You better not, tiny person. Oh, come on.
Is it okay for me to burst out laughing now?
Stop it.
Next episode.
Here they are, my American guinea hogs. They're chomping away at the grass. There are 2 males and a female, and so one pair will be a breeding pair. The third one will go in the freezer in a couple of months.
But
The goats are all lined up looking at the piggies. They don't know what to make about it. Hi, piggies. Piggies eating your grass.
they won't get that food.
They don't want that food. They got good fresh grass. They don't even want the food.
Is that one wants the food? Well, he wants to.
Don't touch the fence.
No.
It's gonna shock you. I think that one wants some belly scratches. Maybe we'll go give it some belly scratches later. That sound good?
If the fence is off, we can.
Yeah, we'll turn the fence off and we'll go in and see them. Oh, they might be finding the food. Look. They're finding it. Oh, man.
Wait, gonna eat
Oh,
it.
man.
They're eating it.
They're eating it.
Are those little pigs?
They are little pigs.
Can you pick them up?
Well, I can, but I don't want to pick them up.
That was cute.
Don't touch the fence.
I won't.
What do you think about those piggies?
So cute.
They're cute. What are they doing?
Eating the food.
Eating the food. I see your tongue. You silly goose.